I was working in the pharmaceutical industry in Sweden, and I wasn't happy. I was suffering from a lot of depression, panic attacks. There was just something wrong. I wasn't finding purpose in life, and I started looking into doing something else in Sweden, opening some kind of a creative space, some kind of restaurant was never really on the list. But I wanted to do something different. And then I met my ex-boyfriend who also wanted to do something different. And so I was more or less on my way to San Diego in California to live on the beach and have a dog and a little house and open up a business and do something else. And then we ended up here in Costa Rica looking for a coffee farm. Realized we knew nothing about growing coffee. So we found a coffee shop that had an apartment upstairs and it was in our budget. And we spoke to the owners a lot and they just seemed like really nice people that also had done the same thing, like come here to change their lives, figured out that it was a beautiful community. And so came here 3 years ago. This is something that I'm struggling with for sure. Being a white person coming with a lot of privilege from Sweden is definitely challenging. It's fun that this is such a challenging question because it's really something that I've been questioning a lot, not only with this, but with traveling in general, being this speaking English and being able to go anywhere and come here and just buy a business and start it up and having all this, my engineering background that I can figure everything out by myself and do things that I know a lot of the locals here cannot. And then living this life sort of as a fun thing that I'm doing because I know I can always go home. I can go back to my real life, which is a struggle. And I'm trying to learn Spanish. It's getting there, but it's not all the way, just to feel that I'm more integrated and that I can actually communicate more with the locals. And also definitely something that I want to bring more into the business of buying more locally and supporting any way that I can and giving back to the community and supporting all the organizations that we have here that are doing beautiful things like beach cleanups and taking care of the stray dogs and finding ways to be more, just more integrated. But it's a struggle. For sure. Definitely welcomed me with open arms since day one. It's just been and so patient with my Spanish and not knowing anything and trying to figure out where in the mountains we have to go to pay our bills so that they come pick up our trash. And it's just been they've been very helpful, very, very helpful. And I think that's definitely something that has made me stay is that I've never really felt like a foreigner, especially here in Puerto Viejo. It just feels like there's so much love and so much curiosity about me and vice versa. I just feel like there's this beautiful, that I haven't felt like a threat and it hasn't felt like someone else is a threat to me. It's just this, what can we do for each other? How can we cooperate to create something new, to do something else? And I love that. Working on the full body, yes, but yes, I do consider myself a creative. I love to paint, draw and create things with my hands. I love to make jewelry. I love setting up spaces, beautiful spaces, and creating beautiful dishes and in food and just surrounding myself with beautiful things. The work is definitely more of a necessity for me. It's something that I know that I have to do. The work being all the practical things of running a restaurant and also like having my online job as well. Like I'm trying to have this business side of me where most of the time I just really want to play and create all the beautiful things and do all the fun things and talk and not have to think about paying bills or hiring employees or doing accounting and all these things that are really important for running a business. But it's something that I'm just pushing out of, trying to not let it take over my life, I think. But in the same way, it's always there sort of lingering, knowing that there's a lot of things I have to do while I'm so busy having fun and playing. There's this feeling that I should be more responsible. So it's not too easy. As I mentioned, I was struggling a lot with depression and panic attacks for me, it was a lot of the snowball effect, where if something happened, it was just, what am I doing with my life? What is the purpose of anything? Like one little thing could trigger that I no longer wanted to get out of bed in Sweden. And I was struggling a lot with the darkness and the cold and not feeling that I was connecting with anyone. I was going on the subway and everyone was on their phones and I just felt there was no purpose. And then coming here, I had this vision that I was going to step into my role as the one who runs a cafe on the beach and all of a sudden life is going to have meaning and I'm going to feel it was going to solve everything. And it just didn't. I came here and I realized that with my ex-partner, we were not happy in paradise. And if we're not happy in paradise, then I guess it's not the outer world that matters. So then I did my yoga teacher training a little over a year ago, and it just changed everything. It changed everything. So yoga has really become my tool in my inner work. Even if I've done a lot of questioning in my mind before, now I feel like it's getting more integrated in my body, and that I'm starting to understand that my happiness and my well-being and my health all comes from within me, that it's not something that I'm going to find on the outside, which has been incredible. So I feel healthier than ever. I feel stronger than ever. I feel like I've found a way to, like, I'm off my medication for depression and everything since a year, working more with my breath and listening to my body, and still having moments where, like, yep, it just gets overwhelming and I have a breakdown, but I don't know. It's just, I'm on a path now that feels right and true. And yeah, I keep working at it, but it definitely feels like I'm headed somewhere where before it felt super challenging. Working on it. When I stop looking for the purpose on the outside, when I have a regular practice with my yoga and meditation, I feel more like I can release this purpose and know that I'm just doing the best I can every day. And that has helped me a lot. Yeah, this has definitely been my biggest, I don't even know what to call it, like mirror to just see so many sides of myself. And having this, being new in a place where I didn't speak the language, it sent me into such a identity crisis of just, who am I if I can't communicate, if I can't be funny, if I can't be this good listener, like all these things that I thought of myself, if this is what makes me a good person, was so challenging. And it still is having someone speak to me and I'm trying to understand, and it just becomes this, I get so frustrated because I can't express who I am, is what I feel. And then also having this business that requires that I'm very service oriented and happy every day and love to see people before breakfast and have people come by. And it's been challenging. It's been really challenging, but I think in general, it has showed me so many sides of myself that still need work, and having everyone like me, having everyone like the restaurant, everything has to be perfect all the time. All these things that were present in my life before, but maybe more in a way that I had people over for dinner and everything had to be perfect. And now it's just this is my business. It's how I make my living. And it's just been amplified into TripAdvisor reviews that, reflect back on, do people like it or not? Do they like me or not? And it's just been, yeah. No, it's definitely more of a recent, I have this amazing team that I'm working with, and Mariana, who is my just soul sister, we met and opened the restaurant again after having closed it for a year during the pandemic. She is such a beautiful just support in that for me, and helps me be humble in communication, in just that it doesn't have to be, I don't have to decide beforehand what my interactions are. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just have to be present. And if I don't understand, I ask, and then she explains it. And it's helped me a lot to just more humility. And then this fear of presentation. It might not be like camera, but I say, it. This is my new, all right, it didn't work out. It's, as long as the majority of the things that I do are good, it doesn't have to be perfect. And to just let myself laugh at the fact that it's not always perfect, and it's not supposed to be, because we're human, and I'm human as well, even though I've been denying it my whole life that there's a way to do everything perfect. It's just, I have more fun, and it is so liberating to just, I don't know, there's no water today. It just, I don't know, it just helps me a lot. Advice to my younger self. Don't worry so much about what other people think, which I feel is really funny because it feels like that's what she would say to me right now. So it's definitely something that I'm still working on, to not care so much about what other people think. And I also want to say that you are good enough just the way you are. Just trying to change everything on the outside. Nah, just, you're enough.